I'm Adam Justice. I'm the curator of art here at the Polk Museum of Art, and I born and raised in Virginia, and grew up in the Appalachian Highlands of Southwest Virginia in the public school system. My mother was a school teacher. My father was a blue collar worker. I was introduced to art by my father at a very young age, probably about 4 years old. And I remember my dad setting up a small studio in our cement basement next to our coal room for a furnace. And even now, when I walk into a studio and smell oil paint, that's it's so nostalgic. That's the first thing that I flash to is being in the basement with my dad and watching him paint with his fan brushes and his palette knives, making mountains and cedar trees like Bob Ross. Art has always been important. I mean, art was the first communication system. I mean, art has always been a part of our collective unconscious that you can't just take it out. It's impossible. Ultimately, a museum is an institute for learning, and whether it be a history museum, a science museum, an art museum, and then as subcategories to the art museum, whether it be something like an art history museum, something like a modern art museum, or something like a contemporary museum. The focus should always be on education. I think what the Polk Theater is doing with performance art is equivalent to what Platform is doing for visual. Taking these contemporary artists who otherwise would have no exposure, and their work is definitely worth some exposure, and celebrating what they're doing.